behind me is the JinkoSolar Neo module series, 24% efficiency. Let's take a look inside this giant of the PV industry here at the Smarter E 2025. Frank Niendorf, the Vice President of JinkoSolar Europe. Great to speak with you. Now, the PV market here in the EU installed something like 65.5 gigawatts in 2024. What's your take on how the market is developing here in Europe?
First of all, good to see you again, Jonathan. You're right. I mean, the European market is somehow, I would say, in stagnation or minimum small growth rates to be expected. We see quite big challenges, especially on the grid capacity side, more and more curtailments. We saw this situation in Spain a couple of weeks ago. So it's really becoming more and more challenging to feed PV into the grids. And that's why we experience in the industry a new megatrend developing, a transition more from pure PV towards PV plus storage. Storage is the critical game changer, the new driver and the new stabilizer of PV. Without storage, PV will not grow to the extent that we saw it in the past growing. And that's what Jinko decided to take action on 2 years ago already. We invested into a storage business, and that allows us now to offer hybrid solutions, fully integrated systems to exactly be ready to meet this new challenge and trend and have the right technical solution for it.
Well, as you say, grids, resilience is a major theme here in Munich this year. We'll talk modules in just a moment. I was just at the Neo series earlier. But in terms of supplying these hybrid systems, these combined PV plus storage systems, other than just producing the batteries and supplying the units, how else is JinkoSolar addressing that market?
Well, for Jinko, this is not only about bundling 2 different product types, PV and storage. For Jinko, it's a strategic pathway actually into a long-term growth of the European energy market. As I said, without storage, it will not happen. And that's why Jinko decided to invest into a fully integrated hybrid solution consisting of highly efficient TOPCon modules as the core of the system, combined with intelligent energy storage systems, plus advanced digital monitoring. And those 3 components allow us to offer a kind of one-stop solution as a reliable single source provider and allow us to offer to our financial investors the most stable, finally, IRR, which they are looking for. And as you said, the most resilient and dependable solutions.
Okay, well, let's take a closer look at the battery energy storage systems from Jinko.
Let's do that.
Now, there's diverse use cases for energy storage, different market segments. Of course, this is the utility scale from JinkoSolar. Frank, can you tell me about how you're addressing the different market segments of energy storage here in Europe?
Yeah, Jonathan, so you're right. The use cases are mainly, let's say, load shifting, self-consumption, and peak shaving. There's the 3 use cases. And we do have mainly the 2 main market segments. One is the utility segment, and the other one is the C&I market, which is highly attractive and will show the biggest growth potential in storage. Behind us, as you said, we see our utility scale storage solution going up to 5 megawatt hours and even more. We act as a system integrator here, but we tie up with strategic EPC partners who help us to offer turnkey solution. And then in the background here, you see actually our C&I solution addressing the commercial rooftop segment and the CI. Here, this is more closely related to distribution business. So we tie up with different partners, distributors with the necessary technical skills to offer, let's say, the whole service package, the after-sales service package, so that we can also here offer best possible value to our C&I customers in the market.
Well, you mentioned that C&I is particularly attractive. Why is that the case? Why does European industry adopt solar and battery storage? Why do you see that the market opportunity there?
Good question. You see the C&I customers, they show particular interest to become as independent as possible from grid, from energy supply as well, to control their electricity costs better in the future, because at the end, everybody expects gradually growing or increasing electricity prices in the future. And this is what bigger groups, bigger companies want to be prepared for and try to stay as autonomous as possible and control their costs as good as possible.
Yeah, okay. Well, energy storage is in a very exciting space, but the building block of the solar industry remains the PV module. Let's take a look at the JinkoSolar Tiger Neo.
Let's do that.
Well, the Tiger Neo, as I mentioned, is a flagship product from JinkoSolar when it comes to modules. Now, it's TOPCon technology. What can you tell me about TOPCon's role as kind of the core offering from JinkoSolar?
The module is still the core of an integrated system, and we decided, as you know, to heavily invest into TOPCon technology over 2 years ago, making TOPCon the new mainstream technology in the market. For us, it goes far beyond pure high-efficiency cells, which is what the TOPCon technology is all about. It's rather aspects like reliability of the module, more thermal resilience, better low-light performance as well, and the stability, which is very critical if you look at a hybrid system, actually. So it goes far beyond the pure efficiency of the module. And because we want to offer, especially to financial investors, strong financial returns and, let's say, the most reliable solution. And this is becoming much more critical now, and especially in combination with, let's say, bankability, ESG concepts. This is what investors are meanwhile looking into. So it goes beyond modules.
And it also speaks to resilience, which is what we were talking about in terms of the electricity network earlier. Frank Niendorf, thank you very much for joining me here at the Smarter E 2025. I'm Jonathan Gifford. Thanks for watching.